happening? Oh, there we are. We're live.
We're live. Hello. My partner in crime, Lindsay, is currently uploading our links to our Twitter live followers and our Facebook live followers who join in every week to follow us live for our breakdown of BB18. I'm Melissa, and as I said, my partner in crime is Lindsay. We break down Big Brother every week because we're super fans. We are from Nova Scotia, Canada. We love Big Brother, and we've decided to take it to a new platform and Google Hangout about it every week. So if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're a returner, thanks for coming back. And we'll dive right into it. It's been a super busy week, so there's lots to cover. We have lots to talk about since we last left off. So Corey had won the veto last time we spoke. We knew about it, but we didn't actually see it play out. He won it in an ice cream competition, and essentially he won by Polly just giving it to him. So it was one of those voluntold wins. He contemplated for a little while. So we think, according to DRs, using it, like not using it, so that Nicole didn't potentially go back up. But he ended up using it, and in return, Tiffany renominated Davon because of her reaction to Corey winning and potentially taking himself off and potentially her going up. So Tiffany saw her reaction of crying, was like, "If you trust me, why are you doing this?" And ends up putting her on the block. Then we see Frank trying to sway the vote to get Davon out and keep Tiffany, and ultimately that doesn't happen, and Tiffany goes out. So that's kind of where we left off. Thoughts on Frank trying to get Davon out? Did he really think that was going to happen, and did he really think he had the votes? I don't know why he was doing it this early. Like, it was still early to take that big plunge at Davon, especially being uncertain if he had the votes or not, with the flip the previous week when Tiffany stayed. So I'm not sure why he did that. What were your thoughts on that, Lynn?
I think that she was coming for him, so he was going for her. I think it was retaliation. I don't think he would have done it this early, but I think he got scared, and I don't think he's as good a player as everyone thinks he is. And I think he's got one little lackey, but it's back to his life with Boogie kind of thing, like just the two of them against the world. But he did it then, and he's done it before, so I don't know. But I think that this week alone, for me, has been the best week of the Big Brother show, like, thus far. Like, it's been so good. It's been so entertaining. I'm really enjoying it. I'm finally, like, in it now, and it's been so long to get myself into it. But I think, like, now things are happening, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, so we also see, so we'll just touch on this a little bit, how Davon's game kind of gets blown out of the air, just with everybody potentially voting her out and contemplating it. Do you think this week hurt Davon enough that she can't recover once Frank is out of the house? What are your thoughts on Davon's game being exposed?
Davon being what this week?
But like her game, like just going around the house gossiping to everybody, telling everybody what's going on and who's after them, and kind of like pitting people against people. And now this week, like, just exploded. Like, everyone was let into like what she was actually saying, and everyone knew that it was the truth because they could retell those conversations they had with her.
I mean, but it's Big Brother. Like, that's what you do. Like, she's just doing she's doing the same thing Nicole's doing, that Frank's doing. Like, she's just doing it, and I think she's, like she said on the last episode, which would have been last night, like, she's been putting all this stuff in a pot, and now she's stirring it. Like, and I think she's what makes Big Brother so good. So for me, like, I'm like, go do it. Like, if she's not going to do it, someone else is. So I'm enjoying her game. I don't think she did anything wrong this week. And yeah, you're right. Like, she probably did get like people like saying things that they shouldn't have been saying and stuff like that. But that's the game of Big Brother. Like, she's what this show is made of. So for me, I'm like, you do what you got to do. You're making me tune in every single episode.
Yeah, I'm still the same. I'm a huge fan of Davon's game. I'm sad to see it just blown apart just a little bit this early. I do think that she can recover. She has enough people that actually, despite what was uncovered this week, people still trust her. Like, I think James still firmly trusts her, even though Natalie is his number one. I still think Nicole trusts her. There's a little more mistrust than there was the previous week, but I still think that she trusts her. Zakia's in it to the end with Davon, and so is Michelle. They're kind of her lackeys, for no choice of her words. That's my opinion on those two.
Okay.
So I still think people trust her and they want to keep her around because they know it's a number on their side. And I don't think we'll see the end of Devon anytime soon, but that's just how I feel.
Yep.
And now let's just get into for me, what was the most exciting episode this week. I absolutely loved it. I actually watched it twice. I loved the buyback episode.
I didn't watch it.
Amazing.
I was like, this is boring. I just wanted to know who got in, and then I didn't watch it.
No, it's so good. You have to go back and watch it. Well, this is my opinion. Anybody that wasn't a fan of buyback, please tweet at us. Tell us your thoughts on buyback. We'll bring it to the table live. Okay, well then I'll recap the buyback episode because I loved it so much. Okay, so in round one, it was Glenn and it was Josea, and it was, for me, this was exciting because I was one of those old school WWF fans. I was devastated when my father told me that WWF is not real, it's fake. I didn't believe him. I fought with my dad. I was like, there's no way that's fake. There's no way they're faking that move. I love WWF. So this is how this episode played out. They had like a world title belt for buyback. It was so cool. And so anyways, the first round, it was Josea against Glenn. And it was the Barry, they redid the Barry comp where you have to go across logs. They made it a little more complicated, I think, that they did in the previous comp. So anyways, they're going across logs, and the difference in this game is you had to get 20 berries in to win. But once you get a set of 10, it's locked in because there is this other berry you can go for, a cherry bomb. And the cherry bomb will knock the person's berries out if they haven't locked in 10. So at about 8 berries, Josea was going, and I think Glenn was behind him by like 6 or 7 or something. Glenn was like, this is a perfect opportunity. I'm going to go for the cherry bomb, knock his like 8 or 9 out, and then I'm going to take like this astounding lead. So he ended up going for the cherry bomb, and Glenn was a little like off balance throughout the competition. And he went for the cherry bomb and he didn't get back in time. Josea locked in his 10, and then Glenn had like, I think it was like 6 or something, and then had to keep going. And then he was close to getting his 10 locked in, and didn't Josea, he was winning, I wrote it down, he was winning like something like crazy, like 13 or 14 berries to Glenn's like 7. And doesn't he just knock all those 7 berries or 8 berries or however many berries it was down and just crush Glenn's dreams and go on to win the first competition? So that was the first round. And then when the next person comes in, there's all this like smoke, like in WWF, WWE. Please, people, if you're watching and you were fans of this, tweet us, share my love. So then there's like smoke for the winner. So the next person comes into the ring, it's Victor, and he has to like see who was the winner of the first round. It ended up being Josea, but he comes through all this smoke. And so then Victor and Josea's buyback round was like the most grueling, I think. It was, the tennis one where they had to like take a ball and like knock it over, that comp. Do you remember? So it was that comp, but it was more complicated. They had 5 heads of the other opponent that they had to hit down. and it took them like forever. And so to retrieve their balls, they only had 3 balls. They had to run back, get their balls, come back and try to hit them again, forever to get these 5 heads down. And anyways, Victor ends up winning it. And each time from this point on, each time somebody won, they were like sharing information like with Victor. Because we go into round 3, and then Victor was against Bronte, and it was a picture memory comp, and ends up crushing.
Whoa.
So again, the weird thing is Bronte didn't remember stuff. Like, she was just like, I can't get it, so I'm just gonna keep chugging away and just put different combinations of faces up, because they had to like watch these screens and then put a face up for the answer of like 3 clues. She's like, I'm just going to try all these different combinations because I'm a mathematician, and eventually I'll get it right. And there's like, I think 8 heads or something, that 8 questions they have to answer. That's going to take forever, Bronte. And then anyway, Victor ends up pulling that out. So he pulls out a memory comp. So he pulls out like skill comp, then he pulls out a memory comp, and then he goes into round 4 against Tiffany as a reigning champ with that belt. He's in diary room with that like old school wrestling belt, and he goes up against Tiffany. It's one of those ones where you have to like scale the wall and make a puzzle. So it's a puzzle one. Plus at the bottom it's a memory one, because at the same time as they're doing this puzzle, they're shouting out like, oh, at 6 o'clock it's this band. So you also have to like hear that and like put the answer at 6 p.m. what band is playing. And there's like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. That watched it understands. And so they're doing 2 different things, and it's like you have to get up and you have to get down, and it's a puzzle. And you think Tiffany would be good at this, because she thought going into it she'd be great at it because she's a puzzle fiend, I guess. And anyway, doesn't Victor win that one too? And he just proved that he's like he's a competition beast, but also like he can do many different competitions other than just physical competitions, which is to me like a really well-rounded Big Brother player. I did not, honest to God, expect to be cheering for Victor, but he was giving really good diary room. He was being like a well-rounded competition beast, because it wasn't just physical. It was both. And I don't know, I was really excited about it. So I watched it again for a second time. I loved the episode. I'm sad you didn't watch.
Well, I didn't need to. You covered me.
But I guess so. Anybody that's watching us, please like give us some feedback. I'd love to read what you thought of it. So anyhow, and at the end of each exchange, so Bronte told Victor, don't trust anyone, when she was leaving, when he beat her. And then Tiffany told Victor when she was leaving, do not trust Day, only trust Frank. Like, and then he was walking away with like little tidbits of information on the game going back in. So that was kind of cool. And then on this episode, it was also revealed that there's a secret room. So, and they have 4 weeks to figure it out, the house guests. So yeah, I don't know, it was an awesome competition episode, and it was super fun to watch, being an old school wrestling fan. So anyways.
Well, that sounds good.
So that was my thoughts on that one. So now that I've just talked everyone's ear off, I hope people are still listening. We'll move on. Did you watch the HOH comp last night? Okay, good. So let's talk about that. So it was another endurance, and it was actually that last competition that Victor versus Tiffany. They were on that competition. Like that puzzle that was up of like the frog in the background, that was their comp. So they actually reused that comp to do this HOH, which was, I mean, good for Big Brother, because it was a really nice visually appealing comp for that final round of the buyback. So it's nice that they had an opportunity to reuse it, because I liked it. It was like old school, like armbands and stuff. And I was surprised with this episode, actually, in that Devon could be an endurance competitor. I didn't didn't know she had it in her to last that long. They lasted like over 5 hours, holding their hand in the air
I
and
think
going over
6.
like a skipping rope.
Like 6 hours. It was
Pardon?
nuts. I felt so bad
Yeah,
for them. I couldn't do what they did.
yeah, it's actually insane. Like I'm so surprised, and like the length of time they did it for. First of all, that Big Brother was doing it that late at night because it was late at night because the sun was coming up, and Devon just proved she's a big competitor to the whole house. And I don't even know that we've seen the aftermath from what I could tell on the show of this recollection. Like, did no one realize that she's actually really good at endurance with this comp, that she's like in it to win it? Because I didn't see any fallout about that. Did you? What do you
No, I
think?
didn't see anything. No. I was so impressed by all of them. Bridget,
Oh,
James, like James was
I
amazing.
know.
It was so good. It was so good. And like the amount of deals being made, and I looked over and Polly was like sleeping at one point. Like they were exhausted and they were getting frustrated. They wanted it done. I think it came down to like who's gonna drop first, and no one was dropping. I haven't seen a comp like that in a really long time. It was such a good episode. I know you're gonna reveal who the
Yeah.
HOH is, but man, it was good.
Um, so yeah, James ends up being HOH, and he ends up nominating, lo and behold, uh, Bridget and Frank. He went with, you know what, I can't fault James at all in this. He went with a safe bet. He knew the whole house is against Frank right now. He's not getting a lot, and I know this term gets overused, but he's really not getting much blood on his hands by making these noms, even if Frank, for some eerie reason, ends up staying in the house or getting a buyback, which we'll reveal shortly because there's a new secret twist that we just uncovered from our faithful reading cave who keeps us in the loop. We'll be revealing that in a second, people. It's exciting news. But yeah, no. So I think he did well, like in just doing a safe week. It's not time to start like taking shots at people just yet. I think that's more of a next week thing and a double E eviction thing if that happens next week, which I have a feeling it will. But it did get revealed that there's this secret room. So maybe, just maybe, there's a chance for Frank to stay in the house. In saying that, we're about to enter Spoilerville. So anybody that doesn't want to listen to spoilers that we have to tell you, you can audios. Thanks for tuning in. We love that you did. We're about to talk about who won veto. So we go into veto, and I guess it was an OTEV veto, and I guess Michelle ends up winning veto, which was surprising because we haven't
Surprising.
really seen much of Michelle up until this point. So Michelle ended up winning veto, and due to the fact she is heavily persuaded by Davion, she did not use it, which comes as no shock to me. And so Frank and Bridget remain on the block. It looks like Frank is going home unless he can somehow persuade people that Bridget is more of a threat than him, which potentially she has proven that she is quite in it to like compete in these competitions that are endurance, and not even just endurance, other competitions as well, because she won the memory one for the veto in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So he could play that hard and go against the Cabbage Patch Kid, or he could let Big Brother potentially save him with the secret room. Because I think that's what will end up happening if his life is on the line, because I don't think they're ready to see Frank go yet. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I
Are
kind of
you ready to
agree.
see?
I think that Frank is gonna go, which is really sad. So I think like it's like when Gary left. It's like when all these like when Tiffany left. It's like you find ways to get people back in the house when they're really good. That being said, I don't know even if he gets back in the house if he's got like to stand on. I think he's in trouble, and I think that at what point do you just let Dave on and like the rest of the house fight it out? So I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's sad because if he's good, this is like when Cassandra, if you're really good at Big Brother, like Cassandra and Tim, you can find a way to get yourself out of that situation. That's what Big Brother's about. It's time to hustle. If he's as good as we all think he is, he'll get Bridget out this week. She won't do it, so how is he going to do it? true Big Brother fans know. Like, I mean, Dan was able to do it. Like, lots of people are able to do it. So if he can convince that host to switch, I'll be blown away. I don't think he can do it. I think it's his time, but we'll see.
Yeah. I Unfortunately, I think that Frank has lost the plot at the beginning of the game by being a little loose-lipped about people's games, like not at the right moment. Like he wasn't revealing like Nicole's like owning her game at the right moment. Like he didn't wait for the right moment to out these people. And I think it's kind of bit him in the bum one too many times. So I think people are not going to be as persuaded by him as they could have been if he had played his cards a little better. Like weeks prior, coming up to this week. So I'm sad to see him go. I still am a Frank fan, despite everything that's happened in the Big Brother house this season. I am about to reveal this twist that we were just let in on that's happened on feeds today. So anybody that doesn't know about the new twist, we are about to unveil it from at Reading Cave. We'll give you kudos in a moment. So he tells us that anyone who enters a code gets to pick from 12 envelopes once they're evicted. And with Julie, that they've chosen out of 12 envelopes, and they potentially find out if they want to buy back, forcing them to go right back into the house. Apparently, it's a super confusing twist, but it pretty much allows Big Brother to play a card in the game and bring back or put people back in the house that they didn't really want evicted that week. That's pretty much what this twist is giving us, I think. Twist, Linz, are you confused?
I'm a little bit confused. I'm excited to see how it plays out. My thing, like, you know how I feel about these twists. Like, I'm always like, oh, just let's let them play. No, I'm sad to see the RV thing go, but I kind of think, like, you know, let's just like play normal Big Brother. But and we're about that time, 5 people are out, that they're gonna like let them just play. But yeah, you know what? It's just to keep people intrigued and stuff like that. So who doesn't like good drama? Get somebody back in there. But I don't want it to be Tiffany. I'm done.
Yeah, I hope it's not her. Here's another question I'm going to throw out there. There's been a lot of talk on Twitter about the showmances and how this is a season of more of a bachelor type season of Big Brother versus a and I've said this before actually about James, how I really wanted him to find love, which is ironic. I said it a few weeks ago, and now there's like so much talk online about how this season has really focused on the showmances in the house, which would be Nicole and Corey, Zakia and Polly, and finally James and Natalie. So cute they are. I will see them all day long. I don't mind seeing them. The others I'm not really a huge fan on. But there's lots of talk on Twitter about this is Big Brother, enough already. Like, I want to hear strategy. I don't want to see this. And they'll like post a picture about the showmances. Are you done with the showmances? Like seeing them like continuously on the feed?
I guess from where I'm sitting, I don't see Polly and Zakia a lot. I don't see. I just see Nicole and Corey in bed jumping up together. The only people I've seen are like James and Natalie, and it's more cute than anything. So I guess like I don't feel like just by watching the shows that I even know there's showmances happening between those other 2 couples. And you can correct me if you're wrong, but if I'm wrong, but I just don't feel like I've ever seen Polly and Z be put together on the show. So if you're not following the feeds, if you're not following all that, I don't know that you're seeing it. So I think that the James thing is more like, oh, boy meets girl, like he never thought he had a chance in hell, and it's working out real well for him. So, but I don't know that, I don't think I'm bored of it because I don't think I've seen as much as like the online, maybe live feeds are a little bit different, but we're not seeing those. So what I'm seeing is just like James and Natalie, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, Yeah, I agree. And then I want to touch on one more thing before we conclude our BB breakdown this week. Are you looking at the tweets about I'm not gay Corey or not gay Corey? Have you seen those tweets? What
No,
are your thoughts on those?
I don't know
Kind
what
of
that is.
controversial. So every time somebody talks about Corey, they hashtag I'm not gay Corey, because apparently when the feeds first came on, the first thing Corey ran to the camera and said was, Mom, Dad, I'm not gay. Despite anything you see here, I'm not gay. He went and he said right into the camera, the feeds camera. So so now it's like the running joke on Twitter anyway, to every time they describe Corey to hashtag not gay Corey. There's a lot of it going on. You haven't seen that on Twitter?
No. I did know that he said some pretty controversial things, and that like, and then he was trying to cover it up. So I didn't know, but I, I, I mean, do I think he's gay? No.
Really? Yeah. They haven't really touched on it on the show in
Yeah,
terms of the
probably because
controversial
they don't
things
want to
he
go
has.
near that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah. So for anyone that hasn't heard what the controversial things he said, it was in regards to him and his friends like burning a goat and many other things. But the goat one is the high topic of conversation. But a few weeks ago, like in relation to this hashtag, Nicole and him were like lying in bed together on feeds, and she's asking him why he wanted to go cuddle, like leave her bed at night to go cuddle with another guy. I don't know who the guy was. If anyone knows, they can fill me in. They had this conversation, I think it was like a week ago, how he left her bed to go like into another guy's bed, and she was like questioning him about it. So I don't know. I can't, like, I'm not actively following, like I'm reading feeds, I'm not watching feeds, so I can't get like a firsthand experience. And even if he is gay, like, or bi or whatever, who cares? Like, that's my opinion. But anyway,
Yeah.
excuse me.
No worries.
I don't sorry, I coughed really loud. I don't really have an opinion on the fact that he's gay, and even if he is, like, who cares if he's gay? But I guess the community, like the Big Brother community, is kind of poking fun of it, because like that was one of the first things he said
He's
when
an
live
odd
feeds
one.
came on. I have to take a drink of water. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, we'll
Yeah.
find out when he gets out if they even. But I don't know that they will. Because as we kind of just when really like touched on anything controversial going on with Corey, they've kind of painted him as like one of those feel good guys, you know, like one of those like
Jock.
jock, happy, like go lucky guys, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, enough said about Corey, because for me anyway. Anything else we want to chat about before moving on? Do we want to touch on the fact that BB Can people are having so much fun on Snapchat? I'm following their stories like
Oh my
crazy.
God, if
They're
people
going.
do not have Snapchat yet and are not following like Kelsey, um, Phil, Raul, Ramsey, Cassandra,
John
and what's his name?
Party just got
John
snapped.
Party. These people
John.
are having the time of their lives. They are enjoying their summer. They are going across Canada. They're doing it up in Vancouver. I'm 100% sure that Phil and Kelsey are together. I am loving their Snapchats. I don't know if there's like, it's so good. Oh my gosh. It's like just as entertaining to turn on my Snapchat. Thank you, Raul, for having the best Snapchat. I know he gave us a shout out last week, and that was really awesome. I'm obsessed with him. I'm obsessed with him. I love how he covers his mouth every time he talks. He is the best. I want to be friends with all of them, and I don't know how to make it happen, but I'm going to try really hard.
Me too. It's like a goal.
Yeah.
Life goals here. Yeah, we're really high. Anyways, on that note, thank you for tuning in. We love Big Brother. We love you all for tuning in every week. And we will see you again next week. We might even make like a quick little appearance on our Twitter because we're going to be together on Friday. So we might do like a quick little like 2-second video and post it to Twitter being like, hey, we're together. Maybe on Friday we'll be together, Lindsay and I, instead of hanging out over. So we're super excited about that. And we might just talk like a snippet of Big Brother, and we might have riches in our system. So if you want to hear the real truth behind these two Nova Scotian super fans and what they think of Big Brother, tune in Friday. We'll post a little something. All right, that's it.
Thanks, guys.
For tuning
Bye.
in live.